you have to rest after the activity. So it can be tricky. So it took me, like I said, it took about 6 weeks to get used to that routine, and then it took about 3 months before I started feeling really like, okay, this is actually helping. And it's taken 3 years to get to the point where I was almost ready to hand in my blue badge and stop my disability living allowance, because I was walking, I wasn't using the wheelchair, I was still pacing. And I think really it is a lifestyle change, because we will always have that susceptibility that if we push through something, we're gonna get bad again. And like, as you get better, you can go, oh, okay, so now getting dressed, I only need like a 5-minute rest, or maybe not one at all. Maybe actually getting dressed isn't an issue anymore. But what I do is I get up, get dressed, have breakfast with my husband, and then I go back to bed for about 2 hours. 2 hours. And if I'm feeling like if the weather's affected me, or if something happened and it was a little bit more energetic than it should have been, I'll have 3 hours. You know, I will just listen to my body and just go, right, okay. So having the energy points is very helpful as well, because it's a physical thing. So having the diary is a physical thing, so you can look at it and go, I know that brushing my teeth is going to cost me, and I need to give it 5 minutes rest, or 15 minutes rest, or 20 minutes rest, or whatever it is. To just be really careful with pacing. And that is what pacing is. It is rewarding your body with rest. It's a good way of looking at it. So obviously sleeping all the time isn't the answer, but not sleeping when your body's telling you to is not the answer either. So again, like I said, a lot of people will be told to just push through things and stuff, and I've been told all sorts of rubbish, but it is the thing of just pacing, knowing your own limitations, setting achievable goals. Yeah, I hope this has helped, because this is something that has just been amazing for me, is seeing the effects of this. And this is sort of how my dad eventually got better, is that he just basically, you have to get to the point where you go, do you know what? This is worth sacrificing everything for. So basically, for the first year, I didn't have any visitors, I didn't go out, I didn't go shopping, you know, whatever. But you just go, I've just got to get myself better. And it isn't like, oh, I've got to get myself better, and if you have a relapse, then you get upset. Relapses happen. And it's not necessarily because you've overdone it. It could just be that you're fighting a cold or something, and so your body just goes... But you should find that after the first year of doing proper pacing, graded exercise, proper graded exercise, not mental graded exercise like some doctors tell you, and having Q10, you should find that you recover from your relapses quicker. So I used to take about 3 months to recover from a relapse. I don't have relapses anymore. Thank you, Lord, because that's amazing. But it got to the point where it would take me about 3 weeks to recover from a relapse, and then maybe 2 weeks, which is just incredible. And you will see how you're getting better, because it's a really helpful thing, because also you've got your diary. And so I was like writing every half an hour in my diary and going, oh, okay, I've got to pace this, da 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 da. And then it got to the point where I was like, well, I'm not even writing anything, because I know what I'm doing. And so it got to the point where I was just writing morning and evening in my diary. And then it got to the point where I was just writing a day, so just doing a synopsis of what my day had been like. Because you do train yourself to rest, to pace, to have realistic goals. And yeah, it really helps. If you have any more questions about this video, then please do write to me. And like, if any of your carers have questions, then my husband has very kindly said that he will sort of mention answers, and so I can write to you and kind of go, okay, this is from a carer's point of view and things, because obviously I'm sure there are people like say like your husband, oh sorry, postman's just arrived, so say if your husband kind of goes, so does that mean that we can't go out for a year? It's just like, no, of course not. But then you have to kind of go, you go, right, okay, so say his birthday's coming up and you want to go out for a meal, you have to then put extra rests in beforehand and then plan to do nothing to afterwards to kind of like reward your body for doing that exercise. So basically, if you take nothing else away from this, take this. Pushing your body is not the answer. Hopefully that helps. I'm just having a look. Yeah, I hope that's helped. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Basically, there's no point doing sort of like swimming exercises or massive amounts of walking and stuff until your body can cope with the everyday things of getting up, walking the length of the room and that kind of thing. There's no point doing, because one of the things that a lot of doctors will go is like, oh, you should start swimming, oh, that would work your muscles, and my sort of ethos is get your body well enough to cope with life and then worry about exercise. And obviously that means you'll have a little bit of muscle wastage and that kind of thing, but physio can help with that. So I just didn't do physio because every time I tried it, my doctor was like, yeah, this is making you worse. I was like, I know. But now I'm well enough, I'm starting to do physio, so I'm working back on like my muscles and my balance and things like that, and that's actually been quite helpful. Whereas before it was just like, you know, if you can't make your own lunch without having to have a rest, what makes you think you're going to be able to do exercise? It just doesn't make sense. So basically, pace yourself and have realistic goals. Don't push yourself through things. If you have to push yourself, so basically, say if you have a hospital appointment and they're late and so you have to sit up for an extra amount of time, then you have to do it. But then you have to reward your body for pushing by resting. Resting is so important. I can't get over to you how important resting is. And a lot of doctors will say, oh no, you shouldn't be sleeping that much, blah, blah, blah. But it's the thing of, yeah, you should, because your body has been desperate for rest for so long. So it's just listening to your body, rewarding it for the exercise that you have to put it through realistically. So if, you know, you might get a bit depressed at the beginning because it's like brushing my teeth and I have to have a 15-minute rest afterwards. That's ridiculous. But it's like, if that's what your body wants, you have to think, well, you've been so unfair to your body in the past, kind of making it do things before you were ill, sort of going, oh, you're not tired, you're just lazy, get on with it. And it's just like, your poor body, you need to just look after it a bit more. So there we go. So hopefully that will help, and it'd be wonderful to hear if people actually try this and go, oh, wow, you know, that actually works. Now, I already have people who I know who have tried this sort of method and it's working. So it's not just me. You know, there are other people out there who have tried this method and gone, yeah, this works. This pacing, graded exercise, not the way doctors tell you, but like tiny progress over several years is the way forward. And, you know, put your hopes and dreams on the shelf for a time and go, I'm never, like, basically, if you push and do the things doctors tell you, you will probably never get better. You will always have a problem, and so you will never achieve your hopes and dreams. Whereas if you just shelve them for a time and just get on with coping with life, then you can have your hopes and dreams another time. Excellent. Because basically when I was first ill, I was like, oh my goodness, it'd be so helpful if I did like a YouTube channel thing. And, you know, I'm in year 8 and I'm only just well enough to do it. And that was one of my hopes and dreams. But I'm able to do that because I'm getting better. And hopefully you'll start getting better too. So anyway, lots of love, and I'm sorry if this has been a bit waffly, but I just desperately want to help people. Okay, bye!